This conference will now be recorded.
Right, so good morning all of you. Last session we started discussing about selectors, right? And I think we discussed ID selector. We didn't write the theory point for it. Let me write the theory for it. By using this selector, we can select an element based on ID attribute. What on the screen? Attribute. Anything wrong? Yeah, write it. By using this selector, we can select an element based on ID attribute. In CSS, IDs are represented with hash symbol. Hash symbol. Next one, class selector. Same point, you write it. Class attribute dot symbol. Classes are represented with a dot symbol only. Classes are represented with a dot symbol. Classes are represented with a dot symbol. Right. In CSS, classes are represented with a dot symbol. Right. Let's go for it. This example. Same story, but in place of it, what we are going to see? Dot symbol. That's the only difference. Let us go there and create a new file. And now this is going to be selectors 4.html. Take the file like this. And now we have ID. We can take class also. Both we can take. An element may contain ID as well as class also. Anyone, right? If ID is there, can we add class? Or if the class is there, can I add ID? And it's not a problem. So both we can keep. Otherwise, you can keep only ID. Otherwise, you can keep only class also. Or both also we can keep, no problem, right? Anyone you can take it, right? So class is going to be sample. Class is sample. Here also class. I'm taking class is equal to sample. Class is equal to sample sample, and class is equal to sample. Can I take ID class both have same name? No problem. Representation is different, na? That is a hash sample. This is dot sample. Both are not same. So that we can take same ID, same class also. It's not a big deal. But the differentiation is different. What is the differentiation here? IDs are represented with hash symbol. Classes are represented with the dot symbol. So even though if we can take same name, no problem, right? My question: can I add one more class, sir? Can I add one more ID? One element should have one ID only. One element should have one class attribute only. We cannot add multiple times ID class attribute, right? Okay, very good. So one more point, very important point. This is, all of you listen this. Sir, can I provide two IDs? Sample, one, welcome. I provided three IDs. Is it okay? One element have multiple IDs, sir. No, one element should have one ID only. You cannot provide multiple IDs. Remember carefully, one element should have one ID only. Have a class. Test, welcome. Can one class attribute may have multiple classes? Is it okay? Yes, it's 100% okay. But ID should contain only one value. But a class attribute may contain multiple classes also. Yes, it is possible. A class attribute may contain multiple values, but ID attribute should contain only one value. For one element, we can add ID only one time, class also only one time. But a class may contain multiple classes, but ID contain only one. Only ID means so what? Only one ID. One element, one ID. Class, multiple. One student may sit in multiple classes here. That's the meaning of it. But one ID, sorry, one element should have one ID only. See, simply why they are using this ante, IDs are represented to unique purpose. Uniquely, I want to identify something. You will more understand when you guys are learning JavaScript. When you guys are learning JavaScript, you will get more clarity. What is the main purpose of ID? What is the main purpose of class? What is the main purpose of the name? So you will get a lot of methods are there in JavaScript. There you will get more clarity. But ID, one element, one ID. But one element may have multiple classes. One element may have multiple classes. Okay, right. Now, sample అనేది ఒక క్లాసు, టెస్ట్ అనేది ఒక క్లాసు, వెల్కమ్ అనేది ఒక క్లాసు. Sometimes it is required. To take multiple classes for one element is required sometimes. Such a situations we will tell you. Okay, na? Right. Wait for some time. I will tell you. Okay. Now here we have ID. I'm not writing anything. I'm not writing anything in front of the sample. There is no dot. There is no hash. Then what is the meaning of it? Name of the element. But do we have any element with name sample? No, we don't have any element with name called sample. So if we can run this, can you get any output here? There is no output. We will get the output as it is. We are expecting. This is actual output. Now, in front of it, I am writing dot. What is the meaning of dot? It will identify, remember, it will identify all the elements whose class is sample. How many elements are there with sample? 4 elements are there. All 4 elements are what? Sample, 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 sample. But this is ID. This is what? Class. I'm asking for a class. Now you see, all the elements are having background color and color is going to be white. On what basis you selected? On what basis you selected? Class based you selected. For example, in place of it, if we can take just a test, then what is going to be happen now? Test. To whom the color will apply? For this or for this? Remember, what is the thing you are having here? Dot. Dot means what? Class. It will look for an element whose class is the tester, whose ID is tester. Whose class is tester? Whose class is test? Div class or P class? Div class. So obviously, if we can go and check this now, this is the output we are getting. Okay, na? Right. We will get like this. Now tell me, I am writing sample. Again, then what is going to be happen now? All elements are getting like this. Now you tell me please, I am writing div dot sample. Now tell me, what is going to be happen if I write div dot sample? If I write div dot sample, the color background and color white applied for what element? For these also, na? What is the meaning of div dot sample means, guys? Here, the element div which contain a sample class, or paragraph tag also having sample class. Paragraph tag is not designed. We are specifically mentioning div dot sample means the element div which contains a class called sample. It will select that element only. It does not select all the elements whose class is sample. Yesterday you written, right? Divs hash something you written, right? ID, specific ID only. That element also same ID, this element also same ID, but element names are different. That is a para, this is a div. I won't design the div only. So that is what selectors is nothing but selecting element. For selecting element, you have a lot of filters. You can put lot of filters. If this is satisfied, if this is satisfied, then only I have to add the color. Like this, we have to decide for adding the colors for the elements. Not only colors, other properties also. But now we are working with colors, right? Now what is the output now? div and which is going to be something div dot, right? Okay, this is fine. Yesterday I given something to you. What I given? Without selectors. I don't want to take id or class. There is no id, there is no class, there is no inline style also, but I want design this para only. So anybody got the clarity? Parent, somebody is saying that nth child. These are called pseudo selectors. Generally we have types of selectors, yesterday we seen, right? Some selectors called pseudo selectors. What is the meaning of pseudo selectors? If we can see, p, pseudo selectors always come with colon. Pseudo selectors always start with colon or sometimes double colon also. I will tell you. There are two types in a pseudo selector: pseudo elements, pseudo classes. Okay, now, but don't worry, either double quote or single quote. This is going to be FIRST first. T first. I'm just writing here. Background color green. Just I'm writing something called green. Let me check this. Do you have any output here we are having? And let us go and run the file again. I'm running the file. Do you have any color? No. I'm not getting anything. P last I am writing. Do you have anything? No, we are not getting anything. I have a property last child. Last child I am writing. Are you getting any output? So anything wrong here I am having? The first child, last child. 1 minute. Is there anything wrong? I made a mistake. Background color green. Any spell mistake I have? P, it will give you the color. Okay, that's fine. I have first last only, na. Let me check. Nth child of 2. Nth child of 2, if you can write, let me see what is going to be happen now. Nth child of 2, this is selected. Why that is selected? Nth child of 3, I written only P na. So then why this is selecting all these elements? Wait for a second, let me check this. Actually, first child should work only. FIRST. First child should work. Let me see the first child. Why the first child is not working? Just first child. If I write this, first child is body. That's why this is applying for body. So H1 is the first child. Okay, maybe I think you have to remove this. Only take the paragraph tags only. So take the paragraph tags. Now you can go for it. Now, if you can write P first child, maybe this will work. As a first child should be P. So last child, if we can write it now, obviously it will go for the last child. So for example, I have a lot of paragraph tags are there. So in this, which para I want to select now? Total 6 paras are there. What is the last para? This is going to be 6 and 5, and this is going to be 4, and this is going to be 3. Like this, you can take it. Now, if you can refresh, the last child this is. So if you want to select the specific child, you can use the option called nth child option. And nth child of 2, which para you want to design, that you can provide. Nth child of 2 will be designed. Nth child of 4 means the 4 will be designed to you like this. And in this nth child, even. What is the meaning of even? All even numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Na? So now you see 2, 3, 4 will be 2, 3, sorry, 2, 4 and 6 are designed. So nth child of ODD odd, if we can write ODD odd, and this is going to be selected like this. This is going to be selected like this. Okay, now, right? Exactly, guys. This is what the concept of pseudo selector without using ID, class, and we can go for this nth child concept and a specific. I don't want any other specific things I want selected. Yes, you can go like this, guys. Okay, now, right? Okay, let's go for another scenario here. New file, selectors 5.html is a file. Different scenarios now we will see. I have a div. Inside the div, we have h1 tag open close. This is h1 in div, take a paragraph tag also, some description, div, come here now. This is also a div, or take a section or anything. Okay, div and div, no problem. Two divs, every div we contain h1 and para, h1 and para. If you can run the output, check the output now, will you see any difference here? And no difference. Output will be one by one will become, and no color, nothing will be applied on the elements. This is the output. Okay, now right. For this, I'm providing a class is equal to block block, something, take anyone, no problem. And for this also, I'm providing class is equal to byx box, class block. And these names are not predefined. You can take any name there. 1, 2, 3, 4 also you can take anything. So better to take like this. Okay, right. Now classes are represented by using dot block, dot block. Color is going to be red. I'm providing color red for what? Block, not for the children's. Who is the children's of this block? H1 and para. I'm not providing for them. I'm providing color red for parent. If you can provide color to parent, childs can get the color. Yes, sir? Okay, let's go and check this now. If I refresh the page, children's also having the same color, na? Then why should I write color for H1, color for P separately? So let us write the parent color. If we can write parent color, automatically all the children's also will get the same color. Okay, we can apply to the parent. For example, we are in classroom, there is a circular. Tomorrow holiday. It is for everybody or only for one student? Same like this also. I have applied to the parent. Inside the parent, who are all there? For all the things, color will be applied. Okay, color will be applied. For example, I want to apply background color also. Background color, I am writing green. This green color applicable only H1 or para or both? Now you see, this is applicable for both, not only for H1, not only for para. That's the meaning of parenting. If there is a parent, why should I write styles for children's? Apply the styles for parent, automatically children's also will get the same style. You see, one more I am writing font. What is the one more property we have? Font style is a property. I have a property called italic. Font style is CSS property with value italic. If you can refresh, see, both are turned. So why should I write individually? If you think that P and H1 have same styles, and make their parent. If you can write some parent, I already told you in CSS structure, HTML structure. If you want to display two or more elements, there should be one parent element. Na? We discussed it, right? There should be one parent element. That's why this is here. If we have a parent, that's going to be very easy. Same thing I want to apply for this also, sir. byx box. Okay, na? What I am doing here? I am grouping two classes together. Why? Because the box class and the block class should have same styles are required. That's why I'm just grouping. I'm not writing one more time dot box the same three properties. Of course, you can write like this also. You can write like this also, no? Right? So why should I write like this unnecessary? If we can think both are having same, then in this context, why should I do like this dot byx box? Okay, you remove this line. So same work will be happen, right? Same thing will be happen here, right? Okay, fine. Okay, up to here I think you are clear. Maybe this is ID also. If we can take this as ID, ID box. Now tell me, color will apply for both? No, no, it is applied for only the. I want to apply the same for this also. What is the small change I have to make here? Where in place of this dot, what you have to make? Just keep the hash and the id comma class, class comma class, element comma element, element comma class comma id comma, whatever you want to group, you can group it. If you think that these are having same styles, and you can group anything by using name, you can group by using id, you can group, or mix, you can mix id, class, group, everything also you can mix it. Ultimately, we have to reduce the number of lines of code to do this. Yeah. Now, if you can refresh the page now, this is also getting the same thing. Maybe this is ID. This is going to be a class. I don't want this. Now, I'm going for a div. Otherwise you can write div hash bivx box also we can write. What is the meaning of it? It will select all the elements whose id is box only, all the div elements with id box only. That's the meaning of it. Okay, right. Now these selectors are important. Okay, everything is important. This is important, that is not important, such a way there is no but very thing. Let's go for it here. I'm removing this. Come here. Now we have, this is a div, this is a div. Otherwise you take this as a section. This time I'm taking this as a section. Okay, right now there is no classes. Of course you want to take classes also, we can take the classes. Okay, otherwise class is equal to block block. Take it, no worries about it. Take one more. This time this is going to be article. I'm taking something called article tag. So you write something called article, write something called section, no problem. Take the same text also, no worries about it. If I run the file, will you see any difference here? And nothing difference. You will get the same output h1 and something will be there. In div, h1 size is different. In section, h1 size is different. There's a only little difference will be there. No worries about it. Same content, no color applied. Okay. I want to design the h1. I want to design the h1. How can I design the h1? You can select the h1. Here I am writing some color colon red. I am writing color colon red. I am writing. Tell me please, to whom the color red will apply? Yes, for all h1s, only one h1. Okay, if I refresh the page now, let's go and run the file. If I can refresh, color applied for every h1, every h1. No, no, no. I want to apply color for this h1 only. For this h1 only, not for all h1s. Because of, if you can write h1 here, what is the meaning of it? It will select all the h1s in the body. Where are they? Inside a div, outside a div, or inside a section? It is not the matter. How many h1 tags are there in the body? It will select all the h1s. They are inside or outside, it's not the matter. It is selecting all the h1s. Now my point, I want to design that h1 which is in the section only. Which is in the section only. How do I select that element? Right, so any guesses? Section space h1 is enough. Section space is required. If you are combining, it cannot work. Section space h1 means it will select the h1 whose parent is section only. If you are not writing this, what is the meaning? It is selecting all the h1s in the body, wherever they are. No, no, no. Specific condition, sir. I won't select the h1s which is in the section only, which is in the article only, which is in the div only. Right, then what I have to do, guys, here? Now section h1, if you can write, now can you see now? They're getting like this. Okay, now you tell me, what is the class for these all? Blocker. Okay, now can I write like this? Dot block space h1. What is the meaning of it? Otherwise, just I'm writing like this. Dot block color red. What is the meaning of it? What are all the elements with the class block? All the content. This is also block, this is also block, and that is also block. Everybody will have the same color, right? Now if we can refresh, everything is red. No, 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 sir, I don't want everything red, sir. I want to make h1 only red. H1 only red. Then what I will do? Block space h1. That means what? It will select the h1 whose parent class is block only. Now you see. Now if I can go and take this now, only h1 is only red color. Na? Now I need h1 in the section only. I want to select the h1 which is in the section only. How do I do this? Like this also you can write section dot block. Okay, the section element with class block inside h1 only. Yeah, you go and take this now. If we can refresh, and you are getting the same output now. You're getting same output, right? Okay, maybe some people will say, sir, I want write section space h1. Okay, this is fine. Section space h1. Now if you can write like this also, that is going to be design. Okay, what I want to do, let me take one more section here. One more section, but this section class is going to be box box only. Now you tell me please now, if I refresh, what is happening? This is also section, this is also section. What is the selector you written? Section space h1 means h1 tag which is inside the section. So h1 which is in the side inside the section, here also h1 which is inside the section. No, 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 sir, I want to make design for this element only. There are two elements with section, but their classes are same. Classes are not same. One is a box, another one is going to be block. In this context, what I can do, you can use this way. What is this? Section dot byx box. That means what? It is not going to select this. Why this is not selected? Section, but the class is what? Block. That's why it is not selected. Ultimate goal is what? Ante selecting elements. How you are selecting it? You have to think like this. I need this element only. I need that element only. For this, what is the selector I have to write? What is the selector? We have to write. This way you have to think, guys. Then only you will get more clarity about the selectors. Otherwise, by reading the definition, by hearing the definition, you will never remember it. You should know how to apply on the elements. If you can think like this, you will selectors becomes very easy. And by hearding, how many you will by heard? No, you cannot. It's not correct at all. You always think like, I need this, I need that element. You have to think like this. Definitely you will get the solution at the end of the day. You get the solution at the end of the day. So selectors will look like this. Selectors will look like this. Selectors will be like this also. If it is an id, for example, if this is an id, then what I have to do, guys, here, which is going to be hash. Simple thing. Section hash byx box. Now same thing will be designed. I want to design this also. Then what you will do, guys, here, now this is going to be the same thing. Section dot block block space h1. Yeah, you write like this. What is the meaning of it? This is going to select the, this h1 is selected, as well as this h1 is also selected. Ultimately selecting, what we are doing, we are grouping the selectors. No, 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 I don't want to group the selectors. You want write like this? Yeah, you can write like this also. You can remove this, and there is one selector, this is one selector, but properties are same. If the properties are same, why should I write two times? Let them group. If we can group them, it is going to be easy to you. So this is how we can select the elements. Remember, these concepts look like easy, but not easy. A lot of confusional concept this is. Okay, on the fly, right now you are learning. So when you are learning, it look like easy. After session completed, again, if you started thinking, you cannot get any ideas. That's what confusional concept the selector sees. Now it is easy. After session is completed, it's not easy. We forget about it. Right? So okay. My suggestion, every day up to CSS completed, try to learn one selector per day. One selector per day. Lot of selectors are there. If you can try to practice, you will get lot of ideas on the selectors. By reading, don't remember. By practice, try to remember the selectors. If you can read, you will never remember them. After some day, definitely you will forget. So by practicing, you have to remember the selectors. By practice only. If you can read, how many you can read? Lot of criteria are there. Lot of scenarios are there. What is the meaning of it? What is the meaning of that? We should know about it. Okay, right. While coming tomorrow, you have some assignments on the selectors. For example, I am writing a selector like this. What is the meaning of this selector? Div greater than p. Okay, right. I am writing div plus p. What is the meaning of div plus p? And which is in the div inside or div outside? The para which is in the div, which is in outside, which is in the before, which is in the after. I don't know, but you have to tell me tomorrow. So this is my task to you. You have to tell us tomorrow. What about these two selectors? Write these two selectors. While coming tomorrow, please let me know. What is the meaning of div greater than p? Div plus p. Get the scenarios and tell me tomorrow what it will do. Div greater than p, what it will do. Div plus p, what it will do. Then right, take these two as an assignment and we will see in same in tomorrow. Next one is going to be attribute selectors. Also we will see attribute selectors. What is attribute selector? Identifying the elements based on the attribute. Based on the attribute. Article, and this is a block, and let us take this is going to be test or something like this. You take it. Okay, now I have 4 elements are there. Let's remove everything from here. Attribute selector represented with square bracket. Square bracket we have to use. Classes are dot symbol, IDs are hash symbol, name is directly name only, and what it is going to be attribute selector. Attribute. Okay, you can write any attribute, class, ID, style, or anything, whatever the attribute you have, you can write it now. So before that, we can write element also, div class. I'm writing simply like this. Background color. Okay, otherwise, first you write like this. Background hyphen color. Red. Let's write some height also. Height is going to be 200 pixels. Width also I am writing 300 pixels. Height width 300 pixels I am writing. Div. Can you guess what is the output of this program? What I am doing? I am writing element selector. How many elements are there in the body with the name div? 2 elements. Okay, go and check this now. 2 elements are there. To provide some gap, wait for a second. I have a margin property 10 pixel. Don't worry about this. We'll talk about later. Now you have 2 divs. Above is 100 and 200 and 300. 200 height to. So with the dimensions, we have 2 divs. Div, I'm writing like this. What it is going to be? Square bracket. If you are writing square bracket, that is the meaning of attribute, representing attribute selector. What are the attributes of this element? Class is an attribute. What is the attribute of this class? Attribute for all these 4 elements, we have attribute class, class. Right. Now, if I run this, we have anything? Nothing. We don't have anything. Now, I am writing attribute class. What it will do? It will select. It will select all these. I am not writing div. What it will select? I'm not writing div, just I'm writing the attribute selector only. What it will do? So can you guess what it will do? It is selecting. That means what? It is identifying all the elements which are having class attribute. What is the element it may be? What is the value of it may be? All elements are not having the same class. I mean, what is the value of it, Andy? This is box, this is block, this is BLOCK. Okay, fine. Test. We have 3 different classes. But why this is selecting all 4 elements? All the 4 elements are having class attribute. I'm not talking about the value of the class. Value of the class may be same, may be different. It's not a matter. So the elements which are having class attribute only. Got it? Right. We can write like this also. Attribute selector. And you see, class is equal to, I am writing BOX box. Can you tell you please what it will do? Earlier, because of just writing this, what is happening? It is selecting all the elements which are having class attribute. And what are the values it may be? Class attribute unda? Okay. Otherwise, right. Now you tell me please, by seeing this, what is going to be happen? The elements which are having class attribute with a value box. How many elements are there? Only one? Okay, only one. Now let me save the file and let me go and refresh the page. Now you are getting only one. Right? Identifying a person, I can identify you by your name, I can identify you by your ID, I can identify you by your class also, I can identify you by your attributes also. I don't know your name, I don't know your ID, I don't know your class. I know some person will come with a cap, that is your attribute. Some person will come with a bike, a two-wheeler, Activa bike, something. I will tell you some attribute of you. Who will come with a car? I won't design those people only. What are these? What is a car? That is a property of you. Nothing but attribute of you. Identifying. I don't know his name. I don't know his ID class, but I know his attributes. He is a 6 feet height. I will tell you like this. Maybe by saying this, some people will tell you, sir, his name is Mr. Something, sir. And I don't know, but identifying, how we are identifying the people and attributes. Same like this also, we can identify the elements based on their attributes also. Based on the attributes also. Now I am writing BLOCK block. What is the meaning of block? So now two elements are designed. Why two elements are designed? And there are two elements with the class, something called like this. Now I am writing section. Now tell me please. Section should contain a class called block only, not all the elements again. So now if we cannot do, then what is going to be happen now? The element do with the class block only. How many elements are there for the criteria? ఇలా థింక్ చేయాలి. You have to think like this to learn the selectors. But by harding we cannot get anything. Maybe you will forget after some time if you can by heart something. That's why I'm telling you, one selector per day. Don't by heart anything. One selector per day, and you have to understand. Without understanding, I know all the selectors and there is no use of it. You should know the selector. You should know where to use, how to use also. You should know where to use, how to use. I'm telling you a situation. For this situation, what is the selector I have tried here? Without knowing this knowledge, and you cannot do anything. So I will tell you the situation in interviews also. They will give you the situation. For the situation, they will ask you to write the selector. They will never ask you what is ID selector, what is attribute selector. They will never ask you like this. I want to design the selector like this only. How do I do this? Yes, you have to try this way. Right, check this carefully. These are come under, then not only these guys here, you can write a href is equal to href is equal to, I'm writing click here, I'm writing FB, I'm writing Facebook, something I'm writing. So what I can do here, anchor, 1 minute please, color required, just write the background color only. Then what is going to be happen now? It will select all the anchor tags. Okay, try to see, there are two anchor tags are there with the background color is what? With red background color, there is a red background color. Now I am writing href. Then what is the meaning of it? Both same output, no difference is there. Both are having href attribute now. Both are having href attribute. So I am writing https something / facebook.com. I am writing something called facebook.com. Yeah. Now if I refresh the page, what is the output? Both are designed, only one designed. A href only. What is the meaning of it? Anchors with href attribute. What is the values? I'm not talking about the value. I'm talking about both are having hrefs or not. Both are having href. So the same output will be there. Now I can write a href is equal to empty. Then tell me please, what is going to be designed? Click here, Facebook. What is matched here? Href value empty. Href value empty here? No, it is not empty. So now if we can go and check this now, what is matched? So only that is matched. Why? Because this type of selectors we can write it. This is a way of writing selectors, applying selectors, adding selectors, very important thing. So selectors, that's the concept of selecting an element. Selecting an element. Normally, if you want to go for more selectors, I can go for Google, CSS selectors reference అని కొట్టండి. Just write the reference. You can go for the reference anywhere, either MDN web or W3 schools. You can go for anywhere, no problem. This is MDN official website. W3 schools, if you want to go, you can go. This is a general English and very easy English. You can go for the selector reference. You see the selector reference. There are a lot of selectors there. Can you see? See the selectors, how they are going to be. Attribute selector, just now we are saying this. I given these two to you. Sorry. Wait for a second. Yeah. I given these two to you as an assignment. Okay, by seeing the theory, you will get some idea. I don't that idea. You have to know practically how this will work. U plus P means there is a right side theory also. Na? Select all the P elements which is inside the where the parent is the div element. So what is U plus P? Select the first P element that is placed immediately after the div. What is the meaning of immediately after the div element? What is the meaning of it? Immediately after the div element. That's clarity we have to get it. That understanding is required. By just reading the theory, I know all the selectors, and no, it's not correct. One selector per day is enough. Just go with one selector. One selector per day. I know that it is not easy to remember all the selectors in one day. You should remember the selectors by practice, not by reading. Don't read the selectors. Very important thing. Just go through the selectors and try to get some value. Okay, right. So go to this reference and try to get the things. Okay, now right. And not only here, if you want to go to this MDN web, this is a little different English. English, but you may not understand this English. You see, lot of selectors are there here, lot of attributes are there, lot of pseudo classes are there. You just written nth child, right? Something you written, right? Yeah, you see, lot of things are there. It's not easy to remember all the things at a time. So we will discuss step by step. We will discuss all the selectors, not all at a time. Based on the situation, we will discuss. I need this, I need that. What is the selector for it? This way we have to learn. By seeing all the selectors, don't try to learn all at a time. This is not required. So I need this functionality. You have to learn like this. Always question this. Always be like this. I need this. For this, what is the selector? I want to identify this element. What is the selector for it? You have to think like this. You will never forget it. By reading a theory, okay, everybody can read the theory, but you don't know how to use, when to use. What is the purpose of knowing all the selector if you don't know how to use, when to use? That's why my suggestion, practically to remember, you think always like this. Sir, I need a para which is in the div, which is inside a section. I need that para only. How do I select that para only? You have to think like this. For this, what is a selector? Identifying the selector is very important thing. How to select the elements based on the selectors. Remembering selectors, I'm telling you, by hoarding, you will never get anything. After 5-6 sessions, you will forget everything. That's not correct at all. So you have to think always like this to remember the selectors. Remember the selectors. Try to do like this always. My suggestion, try to learn one selector per day. I will ask you daily some selectors. Daily we will do up to CSS last day also. We will go for selectors daily. This is a concept we have in daily, right? You have to do it. Okay, na? Try to remember the selectors. Your practice should be completely different. I want to be a regular student ante no, don't be here. College, don't expect like a college. This is not college. Why are you here? You know kada? Why are you here? Why are you here? I have money, sir. That's why they allow me to sit here. No. You are here to become software engineer. To become a software engineer, what is the way of learning? And this is the way of learning, not that is the way. That way of learning will help you to be theoretically good. But companies like theory. Company doesn't like theory. If you know theory, you will say very good, but they cannot give the job. So we have to be always practically good. To be the part of practically good, we should learn like this. Naku ila kavali, daniki em cheyali. I need like this. What I have to do for this at the end of the day. ఇలా మీరు చేయగలిగితే ఏదైనా ఈజీ అవుతుంది. నేను ప్రతిదీ బై హార్ట్ చేసి నేను అచీవ్ అవ్వాలంటే ఇంపాసిబుల్ అబ్బా. not only for CSS and any technology, Java, .NET, wherever you learn, you can learn here, you can learn somewhere, but process is this is, be good and be practical, don't be theory. We don't like theory. నాకు ఇప్పుడు రియల్ టైంలో కూడా when you are going for interviews also, they will never ask you a theory, అంటే they will explain it a situation. For the situation, they will ask you to write the logic. In the once upon a time 10 years back, any direct question, what is CSS, what is HTML, what is JavaScript, okay, we will answer for them. But today it is not like this only. So I need this situation, how do you write the logic? I need that situation, how do you write the logic? This type of way they will ask the questions, definitely. So our way of learning also should be like this. That's why I'm telling you the same way. For example, if I am also in interview in my company, so we will ask the question. I know if you are a fresher, what are the questions we have to ask? If you are an experienced person, how we have to ask the question? Sometimes Andy, we interviewed the people who have more experience than us. How we have to interview them? Because they are more experienced than us, right? It's not the matter, but we will see in this situation, what is my company project? What is the requirement of the company? I will ask those questions only. If you are good in this area, I will select you. We will select you definitely. Why? Because so what is my project right now? For this project, what is the skill is required? The skill you have, I am testing you too much practically, not theoretically. So everybody, I know that we are all good in theory, yes or not, right? We are all good. I'm also, of course, like when I was a student, I'm also good in theory, but not practically. But we have to be practically good. That's what the companies are expecting today. So whatever you guys are learning, be practical. Don't learn anything theoretically. If you are learning any selector, what you should know practically, how to use the selector. Now onwards, I will give you the situation. To the situation, you have to say the selectors. CSS is not such an easy thing. Okay? People will think CSS HTML becomes very very easy. The easiness, and if you learn practically, that's not easy, because people are learning theoretically. That's why they are feeling CSS HTML is very easy. No, don't be like this. So we have to learn everything practically. All assignments, maybe in 2 or 3 sessions after that, we will start assignments also. Every day I will give the assignment. You have to complete the assignment. If you are unable to, let me know. I can help you in the session. Directly we can discuss in the session. CSS we learn too much practical, not theoretical way. So okay, we will go like this. But all of you are requested, go to the selectors and try to learn one selector per day. Make a note every day. But how to use the selector, very important thing. How to use the selector is very important thing. If you can theory, you will tell all the selectors and definitions properly. But if you don't know how to use the selectors in the real time, then how do I do this? This is not easy, right? So you have to be very careful about the selectors as well. Okay, please check the same thing. Okay, now, right, fine. So I'm stopping the session for the day, and tomorrow we will discuss the concepts, guys. Here, borders, margins, paddings. If I have time, I will discuss box model also. So these are the 4 concepts we will discuss tomorrow. Very very important concepts in CSS: borders, margins, paddings, box model. Some common properties: height, width, background color. If I have time, so we can discuss background also. Background property also we can discuss. Okay? But mostly I think tomorrow we'll see these 3. After these 3 completed, we can go for these 2 otherwise. Okay, right, let's see the same in tomorrow's session.